Yeah, well, LinkedIn's pretty boring and there's a lot of AI content on LinkedIn, which means it's so much easier for me and my clients to stand out on LinkedIn with like just
Yeah.
genuine,
Yeah.
helpful content that shows a bit of personality, that's a bit bolder necessarily, like just sharing opinions.
Stop and don't spend another single cent on advertising until you listen to this. I'm Marianne Amies. This is Ready, Set, Paid Ads, digital marketing for paid ad success. Let's go. I'm joined on the podcast today by Kate Merryweather, a LinkedIn coach who helps business owners to unlock sales and leads on LinkedIn. We dive into the question of do you ads, and to be honest, we go down the path of using LinkedIn to build sales and leads. We talk about LinkedIn ads and how they can and sometimes can't work well for small business, as well as strategies to make sure your LinkedIn is working hard for you to generate for your business. It's a great chat, and I'm sure you'll have lots of great takeaways. Welcome back to Ready, Set, Paid Ads. I'm excited today to be joined by Kate Merryweather. How are you, Kate?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. To kick off, do you want to tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
I'm Kate, based in Melbourne. I'm a LinkedIn coach. So I help people who suspect that their audience might be on LinkedIn and they need help knowing how to show up, what to post, how to
Mm.
find the right people on LinkedIn, how to sell to them, and to get leads for their business. So I'm all about selling on LinkedIn.
Amazing. We were just talking, obviously, before we kicked off as well about LinkedIn and LinkedIn being sometimes not given the same airtime as Instagram, especially over the last probably 10 years, really. You know, a lot of small business owners are so Instagram focused and then so frustrated with Instagram at the same time.
Yeah. So I get people coming to me who get frustrated with Instagram, who think, it's a lot of Instagram, like it's very pretty, isn't it?
Mm.
You have to make everything look nice. And that's difficult unless you outsource. If you're a DIYer for a
Mm.
small business, that can be challenging. Whereas on LinkedIn, I always say like it's the anti-Instagram. You don't have to have pretty graphics. In fact, I
Mm.
think they work better. Your posts work better without beautiful graphics on LinkedIn. So I think there's a whole audience of potential buyers and prospects who are on LinkedIn who may not necessarily be on Instagram or using Instagram. So
Yeah.
there's a bit of untapped potential for a lot of people in business who realize maybe Instagram isn't it, or maybe not that I don't want to bash Instagram by any means, but there's potential for more on LinkedIn.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think even like just from a diversification, can be also an opportunity to put out different content on each platform and see what that can do for you and see how they can perform differently with different maybe aspects of your target market as well.
Mm. Mm. There's this old story from the old West in America about this bank robber who was robbing all these banks and got caught. And when he was up for trial, the judge said, "Why do you keep robbing banks?" And he said, "Because that's where the money is." And so that's why I say, like, there's money on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
There's people with money. So it's a good place to have a presence, have a visibility because there's people with money to spend there.
Fantastic. All right. Look, kicking off for today, I'm going to ask you my favorite question to ask, and that is do you ads?
No, I don't ads. I'm really interested in ads. I want to learn ads. And I feel like there's huge potential with ads because organic can only take you so far.
Mm.
And I think sometimes ads gets like a bad rap maybe, but I see a lot of people going, "Oh, I achieved this all organic, no ads." And it's like a flex,
Badge of
right?
honor.
Yeah, like I'm so great. I got this organically. And obviously I'm in the organic space with LinkedIn, but I
Mm.
also think what's wrong with running ads? There's nothing wrong with running ads and having more control
Mm.
over who sees your content when. That just makes good business sense to me. So it's not something I've done yet, but it is something I would like to explore. I'm very open to. And it's one of those things, I'm probably not at the space to outsource it. So I do need to learn to DIY. And then it's
Yeah.
just a tiny commitment that I haven't got to. But I think there's huge potential to run ads. And I think you get a lot of control. Like, and some people
Mm.
come to me saying, "I want all these followers, I want this." And I just say,
Yeah.
run ads. If
Yeah.
that's what you want, just run ads. You'll achieve it so much more
Yeah.
quickly.
Yeah.
And when I used to be a copywriter, so people would say, I want to rank in Google. And I'd say, well, you can rank organically or you can run Google ads
Yeah.
and you can get there tomorrow. If you can afford it, if you've got the budget to do it, why wouldn't you?
Oh, 100%. And I think we know organic is harder and harder.
Mhm.
LinkedIn still has great organic capability, probably more so than a lot of platforms, but we know organic is harder and harder. But then we spend a lot of time creating organic content. And if ads can guarantee that content that you're creating getting in front of the right people, you're kind of doing yourself a disservice to resist it because you've done the hard work. You've created the amazing content. It's funny when I teach ads to people, I spend all my time teaching them the structure, teaching them testing formulas, audience builds. And when we actually get to the creative, the last bit, I usually say, I don't really need to teach you how to create an ad. This is the thing you're doing all the time.
Mm,
Your
mm,
posts are already the basis of great ads. Sure, you might need to tweak it to actually have a call to action, have a bit more of a formula, but you know how to make a graphic, you know how to write copy. You're doing that in organic. It's actually technically the easiest part of ads. Now,
mm.
understanding what creative is going to give you the best results, that's a technical skill. But I'm not going to sit there and teach someone for 3 hours, here's how you make an image that's this size, and here's how you, because that's the part we do. And you're right, sort of bashing or even gloating that you did it all organically and without ads. Well, maybe you could have done more easier. And if you got that organically, imagine what you could have done with a little
Mhm.
push behind it. So, yeah, it's always really interesting perspectives. I often hear that perspective of people that the ads are just a way for the platforms to make money, which I always find quite funny because I think, well, why do the platforms
What? Yeah.
exist?
Well,
Don't think any of them are charities last time I
they're not
checked.
charities and yeah, they're here to make money. And the thing about LinkedIn ads and LinkedIn reach, which is a little bit different to the other platforms. So
Mm,
LinkedIn has a very clever model where you can obviously use LinkedIn for free, but then
mm,
there's also premium and sales navigator, which a lot of people upgrade to, which gives you more features, etc. So they've got a model where they're making money from the users who are
mm.
paying for premium, paying for Sales Navigator, but they're also making money on ads. So they're not as beholden to their ad revenue as other platforms
Yeah, that's a really good
because they
point.
have to pay other paid services as well. So they've
Mm.
got more of a dual. Now, I imagine that the ad revenue far outweighs the revenue from the
Yeah.
subscriptions. I'm imagining. I don't know for sure. I
Yeah.
should look that up. But it does mean that LinkedIn ads aren't as common on the platform compared to others, though LinkedIn ads are becoming more visible. You
Mm.
can just scroll and see how many ads. Ads are generally not very good.
No.
And sometimes I think I really need to just change my business model and become a LinkedIn ads expert, even though
Mm.
I've never
Yeah.
run a LinkedIn ad and I actually don't know how. So,
Yeah.
because I think a lot of the LinkedIn ads that I see are bad.
Yeah. I think when it comes to LinkedIn ads, it's certainly the experiences we've had over the years, how they have got better, but they tend to be more expensive. So then I think
Mm,
what happens is your kind of smaller businesses are almost locked out from LinkedIn ads. You
mm,
try it out.
mm.
The conversion rates are generally quite low. I don't think people on LinkedIn are really as open to ads, maybe as on other networks, or there's not so much impulse,
Yeah.
is probably it. They're looking for deeper, more considered discussions and things. It's the same way in my experience. I see the person on LinkedIn always performs better than the company on LinkedIn because
Definitely.
I believe it's a more of a one-to-one. And so firstly, you've kind of got that it's quite expensive and not as effective to play in LinkedIn ads. So what I think it means is your main advertisers are like universities, education providers, huge tech companies.
Yeah.
And then the ad format is like Sydney Morning Herald of, 10 years ago. Like, it's like the most
Yeah, like
bland.
dull. Like check out
Yeah.
our innovative report, a white paper on something really techy. So either they haven't targeted it well enough, and whether the LinkedIn ads platform is good enough to target. Because sometimes I
Mm,
think, why am I seeing this
yeah.
ad?
Yeah.
Whereas I think on other platforms, I think the ad targeting is great. Like I love the ads I'm getting on Facebook most of the time. Like they're
Yeah.
pretty accurate to me, who
Yes,
I am and my
correct.
interests. Whereas the LinkedIn ads I see, I think, why am I seeing this? Like, I'm not this
Yeah.
audience at all. I don't want to hear about the latest in aerospace in innovation from Boeing or whoever.
But I think it is that. I think that the main players in LinkedIn ads have quite large budgets and are
Yeah.
the drier sort of approach. I do think the targeting where LinkedIn ads is great, and I'm thinking, yeah, I should do a whole podcast episode on this. Where LinkedIn ads are great is that you can target on the job title or the experience or the
Yeah.
size of the company. Whereas when you do meta ads, trying to hit that kind of B2B, if you're looking at a company where, say, the HR manager is your target, it's very hard on Meta to understand the personal attributes of a HR manager. It's kind of like how long is a piece of string? You could have a HR manager that's a, really old man with really grown up kids. You could have a HR manager who's just back from maternity leave. Like the
Yeah. And
interests and passions.
they could be Collingwood supporters for all we know. Like, and that, yeah, like all those things Meta probably knows about them, but
Yeah.
don't necessarily. I mean, some people do put their job titles on
I feel like
Meta,
it's
I
so
suppose.
rare now, and I tend to discourage people in their Meta ads from using the job titles, the education stuff, the parenting brackets, because I'm like, I don't know a single person that's published on Facebook. Remember those, like, milestones, like having a baby, getting married?
Yeah.
Getting like, nobody uses them, so
Yeah.
outside of scanning your posts and seeing there's a picture of you in a delivery suite, I don't
Yeah.
think it knows as much as it used to, certainly. Whereas I think on LinkedIn,
Probably not giving them as much, are we? We're not
no,
giving
I
them
don't
as
think
much.
so. Not in a consensual way.
Yeah.
They may be finding it out, but not in an
Things like
overt
even
consensual
things like
way.
checking in, like you're checking
Oh,
in to
remember?
like I had a phase where whenever I went to the footy or a restaurant, I would
Yeah,
check in so
check
everyone would
in.
know that, oh, this
I
restaurant
know. Our
was a fancy
behavior has
restaurant.
certainly changed. Like,
Yeah,
our behavior has certainly changed. And I think that does change what ads data does and what they can access. But I think with LinkedIn, and what I thought would be great to chat with you about LinkedIn is, I guess, that through the right strategy, you can generate sales, you can generate leads without ads on LinkedIn.
you can. Yes. Luckily for me, yes, that's my business model. You can, yes. If someone was saying to me, well, how do I do that on
Yeah.
LinkedIn? I would say, first step always is profile. So actually, maybe step zero before step one. Step zero is probably thinking of your audience and knowing very clearly who they are
Mm.
and understanding those pain points and the motivations as to what's going to cause them to reach out to you and purchase. So knowing
Yeah.
that, putting that in your profile, so your messaging is quite strong on your profile that says, this is who I am, this is who I help, these are the
Yeah.
problems I solve, transformations. Look, everyone talks about that sort of thing. That's nothing too groundbreaking, is it? But putting that on in your profile in the right places so that your profile becomes very attractive to your target audience, and then sending connection requests. So that's the
Mm.
great thing about LinkedIn is you can, as you said, just with ads, like I could search HR managers on LinkedIn today and find them and say I just did in-person work. I could find them and just do my hometown of Melbourne.
Yeah.
And I could probably find thousands of HR
Yeah.
managers on LinkedIn and I could send them all connection requests. Now, whether or not they accept is up to them, obviously. But if my profile is written
Yeah.
to them that talks about the and shows my understanding of the common problems of HR managers, then they're very likely to
Yeah.
accept. And if not, there's another 1,000 people on the list that the algorithm will send me. So, and the algorithm is very good at it. If I spend 2 weeks connecting only with HR managers, when I jump into the network tab on LinkedIn, it's going to suggest even
Yeah.
more people and using the mutual connections because we all like to connect with people who we're mutually connected to
Yeah.
can be a really great way. So LinkedIn offers that I don't think any other platform has that level of sophisticated
Mm.
search. And it's very common. Like you can obviously on Instagram, you can follow someone and hope they follow you back.
Yeah.
Whereas if you send a connection request, you are both following each other and your first
Yeah.
degree connections. And that's just the norm. And so you have the power on LinkedIn to build an audience full of your ideal clients if you send connection requests to them. which
Yeah.
some start. And so I've got a membership where I teach people all of this and I tell people,
Mhm.
they're like, oh, it's not working. And my first question is, are you sending connection requests? Are you sending connection requests? And quite often for the people who are saying it's not working, need help, I'll go send connection requests
Yeah.
because your audience is there and it's just a numbers game. The more people who
Yeah.
you're connected to, it's a trust signal as well. If you've got a good number of connections and followers, and the more people will accept because they think, oh, well, we've got 50 people mutually in common. We
Yeah.
must, it makes sense. And then it just gets easier and easier. And then, so say we've got our profile, we're building our connections, and then we're sharing content that, again, resonates, shows that knowledge, talks about if you want to goal, but you don't want to obstacle, then here's what I think, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And just showing up regularly with that free, helpful advice
Yeah.
that builds trust in your expertise, helps people get to know you. You know what? LinkedIn's pretty boring and there's a lot of AI content on LinkedIn, which means it's so much easier for me and my clients to stand out on LinkedIn with like just
Yeah.
genuine,
Yeah.
helpful content that shows a bit of personality, that's a bit bolder necessarily, like just sharing opinions. And like I've
Yeah.
got one client who's quite opinionated and she's not afraid to like call out the tech bro idiots in her industry. And she's doing really well on LinkedIn because she's this breath of fresh air. She's
Yeah.
saying all the stuff and she's getting comments like, oh, someone said it. Can't agree more.
Yeah.
She's doing really well. And then at some point, people come to you ready to buy. So you could
Mm.
build that trust. And as you say, it's organic, it's slower, but the benefit of that is the trust is there. And then I think the people coming to you have qualified themselves because
Yeah.
they say things like, I've been following you and I really like you. And now I want to buy that offer that you just posted about today that where you said, here is my offer. Contact me if you want to buy it. That's an important part of the mix on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
And that's how it can work, but
Yeah.
it takes work. Like I see a lot of people, LinkedIn coaches on LinkedIn, like just promising the absolute world. And we've all been burnt, haven't we? We've all
Mm.
seen that, oh, I made $30,000 today with this one simple hack and drop me a comment and I'll send you my playbook and all that stuff. And then the playbook is like a chat GPT. Like we've
Yeah.
all got playbooks in our pocket with chat GPT. We don't need someone to send us a playbook.
Yeah, I can make my own playbook for myself
Can
on
ask
that topic.
ChatGPT to give us an entire playbook and then promises the world and then, oh, sign up for my
Yeah.
mastermind, 10 grand, whatever, blah, blah, and off you go. So there's a lot of, someone said today, like a trust recession, like we've all been
Yeah.
a bit burned by all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to be careful what we're promising on LinkedIn and just be a bit
Mm.
more balanced with our messaging, knowing that a lot of people are suspicious.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
think
wild income claims,
oh,
like a lot of,
I know. And I think that's the opportunity on LinkedIn as a personal profile is, yes, if you do the time and write the content, you are sharing who you are. You are showing your values. You are showcasing your expertise, all those things. And, if we come back to Instagram, and we were talking about this earlier as well, like if you're self-managing Instagram, that takes a lot of bloody time. Like that takes you
mm,
3 to 4 hours a week to edit the videos and write the captions
mm.
and film the BTS and all those sorts of things.
Oh, yeah, I just think, what the hell am I gonna post about? That's kind of the hardest thing. You gotta keep sit there and go, "Right, I've got my couple of hours of my week of my content creation
Yeah.
blocked out," and then you just think, "What am I gonna do?" It's
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
You know what, like yeah, so any platform is the same. Like
Oh, exactly. But I think people think differently about LinkedIn, or there's an apprehension, almost like that imposter syndrome. Like, what would I
oh,
say on
yeah.
LinkedIn? I haven't touched LinkedIn. I don't know what to
Mm,
say on there. It's sort of like, well, all the things that you're saying on your Instagram, if they're
yeah,
about you because you are the business, then they can
mm,
be repurposed into your first person voice. Go
for
back
sure.
into those and think about how you can write those out. Even that time that you're saying, like going in and making the connections, going in and starting conversations or engaging with people's content
Mm,
that's
mhm,
relevant to you on LinkedIn. It's not so different to the stuff that we do on the other platforms. It's just bringing that focus over to LinkedIn. And I think that
mm,
it's one of the things, and you touched on it briefly, that makes it still such a great platform is it showcases what other people are interacting with. When I open up, it might say to me, Kate
Mm,
Merryweather commented on this post. Now, I otherwise would not have found that post. And then I can read that and go, oh, who's this
mm,
person? Oh, okay, they're an expert in ethical AI. Actually, that's really interesting to me. I'm going to follow them too. And Instagram years ago removed that kind of activity feed, and it has become a very one-to-one platform. Like what you do on there is it's not that it's private, but without your friends spending hours trying to understand what you're doing, it's not visible. Like Facebook always was. You went on Facebook and it was like, your auntie has commented on 72 other people's posts
yeah,
today. You're like, wow, she's been busy. But that gave you that social, that broader community
yeah.
understand. And I do think LinkedIn still does that so well. Like when
Mm,
I go
mm,
on, I don't just engage with people I follow. I do look at people that my network is engaging with and I read that
mm.
content and then I decide if that's somebody that I want in my network
Yeah,
myself.
which makes you very discoverable,
Yeah.
which is part of it because it's ideally like I still send connection requests, not as much as I used to, but I still get follower growth daily from
Yeah.
people just discovering me in some way. And you can obviously optimize your profile as well for search. So LinkedIn search is quite powerful, though there's a lot of salespeople searching for CEOs. And one of my
Is-
friends was like, I get so many messages. And I just said, take CEO off your job title,
Oh, that's
which isn't
interesting.
ideal because she is a CEO. And I said, just test it and see, because there's a lot of people wanting to sell to CEOs. Obviously, and CEOs are, and shows, and I'm not the decision maker. I'm the final step, but
Yeah.
it's my team that bring things to me for me to sign off. No, I'm not going to get some random DM. So I
Sales
said, no.
pitch.
So she took CEO off, and yes, the
And it
messaging
changed. Wow. And also the
dropped off.
CEO often doesn't have time to filter through all
Yeah.
that
And
crap.
she's like, my VA, not my VA, my her EA, I should
Yeah.
say, just has to go and just block all these people.
Yeah. Oh, look, I get a lot of in-mail ads for MBAs. Like, I'm sorry I haven't
Oh
done an
my
MBA,
gosh.
but
I
I'm
wish
like,
I could block them. You can't block them because they're ads, but
I'm
and
hounded by MBAs.
it's something like, oh, we think real world experience something. Do you agree? And I'm just and then I've tried to reply, leave me
Go
alone. And it
away,
doesn't. Like
please.
you can't even reply to it. It's like a chat bot, so you can only have limited replies. And then I just clicked something and ended up in this chat.
Oh,
Oh
no.
god. Now I'm in the funnel. It's even worse.
And then the connection requests, obviously, yes, like, as an agency owner, I get a lot of this software that could change your life, and then offshore your team. Every time I do a job ad,
Oh
I get
yes.
a million outreaches of, like, "Just offshore your whole team. What are you
I've
doing?"
got a lot of clients who are web developers and
Yeah.
things like that, or SEOs, and
Oh,
they
yeah.
get a lot of offshore people saying, I'll take your overflow work or let me
Yeah.
build your websites. And she's like, I'm not going to put my precious client into the hands of some random, and maybe they're amazing, but I
Yeah.
don't know. I personally get a lot of DMs about videos because I put videos on LinkedIn
Uh-huh.
and they're pretty rough and raw. Like they're
Yeah.
nothing flash. I just film myself, I caption it, and I publish it.
Yeah.
That's strategy. But so I get a lot of video editors saying, your videos are really bad. You should hire me. Terrible way of
You're
getting
like,
business.
"I appreciate the honesty, but
Oh,
also no thank you."
so I get loads. I get lots of video editors telling
Oh,
me how
wow. That
bad
they
my
could change your
videos are.
life.
Leave me alone.
What's your experience with video on LinkedIn? How do you feel that's going?
Oh, it's been a ride. So LinkedIn is a bit notorious for copying the other
Oh, yeah,
platforms.
100%.
And so LinkedIn actually had LinkedIn stories, like Instagram
Oh,
stories a
I
few years
remember
ago.
that. Yes,
Now it
I
came
don't.
and went.
Bless. Yeah.
Anyway, so last year, maybe even earlier, I think it was last year, LinkedIn obviously seeing TikTok, and TikTok's so video driven. So LinkedIn was like, right, video. We're all about video. So it created this dedicated video feed that was just on
Mm,
mobile.
yeah.
So you could just scroll, and it was just like TikTok. You could just scroll and see the next video and on and so forth. That came, and when that was out, my videos were doing 140,000 views kind of thing.
Wow.
And I was like, great, I've been doing LinkedIn video for 5 years at this
Yeah.
stage. So I was like, great, finally some payoff.
Yeah.
but it died. So obviously then LinkedIn took away that dedicated mobile
Mm,
button, which shows to me people weren't using it. People
no.
weren't engaging with the video.
Yeah.
It just wasn't the way people use LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So video has gone back to how it has always been on LinkedIn in the 5 years I've been doing video, which is comparatively poor reach. So it'll be the worst performing content because you're asking someone to sit and watch 30, 60, 90 seconds
Yeah.
of you talking versus just scrolling, which is probably 5, 10 seconds
Yeah.
of skimming content. So it's a bit of a time commitment for someone. However, the
Mhm.
people who do watch your videos are very engaged. They feel like they get to know you. There's just something really powerful in video. So I keep sharing video, even if I only get, say, 5 views, it's 5 people
Yeah.
who've just got to know me a little bit more. And everyone who works with me say, I watch your videos. So until
Yeah.
that stops, I won't stop doing them, even though the reach is not comparable
Yeah.
to my written posts. So every time I look at my best performing post, um, except for that little period where LinkedIn was pushing video,
Yeah.
that was the exception. But generally, and now, so previously, little video blip and back to normal. LinkedIn videos do not perform well, but God, they make a difference
Yeah.
in connectivity. And especially if you are asking your audience to trust you in any way. So if you're a coach,
Mm.
if mindset, if you're in leadership and the way that you work with your audience is asking a lot of them to give personally,
Yeah.
to work with you in any way that involves you and them together talking. They want to feel like they can trust you, that they can
Yeah.
open up to you. And video is just unbeatable, absolutely unbeatable
Yeah.
for that. And
Yeah.
I would say essential if you're in any kind of industry. Like if you're selling a nice product and it's a software product and they can just log in and give it a go, I don't need to know you, the owner, and
Yeah.
trust you and open up to you. But if you're doing any kind of one-on-one, you're like, book a session with me and we'll fix your website or we'll fix your mindset problem or we'll talk about how to manage that difficult employee or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You're asking them to really open up to you. They need to feel safe. Video's the best for
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. And you know what else? Coming back to your comment or your thoughts earlier on the AI crowding. Yes, I know that there's bloody AI clone videos of people as well, but realistically or in practice, I would imagine it hasn't seeped into that much video on LinkedIn. Actually, doing video and rough and raw, less polished video is probably further proof of authenticity and of actually turning up and being there.
Yes. I think you get that connection. So if someone watches my videos and then they book a call with me and
Mm.
book a VIP day with me or something, the person they saw on the video who's
Yeah.
a little bit awkward and waves their hands around or whatever, that is the person that they're going to see. So instead of someone who's flawless or
Mm.
looks thinner than they really are or has better hair or
Catfished.
just looks perfect, and then they're not going to be that, oh, this isn't
Yeah.
who I thought I was working with. It's not a deal breaker necessarily. It's a little bit of
No.
a trust to go, oh, you look a bit different to your profile photo, or you don't sound and talk the way you sound and talk on your
Yeah.
video.
Yeah, your voice isn't as polished. I had this client really early on. He's still a client now, an older gentleman. He's a surgeon. And he must have found me on LinkedIn or referenced me on LinkedIn. And I had black hair, like dark brown hair, and I hadn't updated my pictures. And I must have been in those pictures probably like maybe a year postpartum, all those beautiful things ruined. And anyway, I met him in a cafe. And he was like, "Oh, you don't look like your picture." I had blonde hair by this point. And I thought, mate,
Yeah.
does it bloody matter? Like if we changed our pictures every time we changed our hair, but video does give you that authenticity of,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I am who I am. And I think that's where I really hate filters on video. Like if
Yeah.
you're moving and your skin is continuously blurred and your eyes aren't crisp, to me, whatever you think you are masking, that's just it gives me the ick. It just makes me go, oh, why does this person look like I never see their real face?
Yeah. You're going to see them eventually
Or maybe
if
not.
you meet them in person. It's like, yeah. Gonna say sometimes you see the pictures of celebrities, and then you get the photographer at
Yes.
the event and share the real photo. And
Yeah.
I think it's nice to just even just as a little act of microfeminism, just to show up as what you really look like, just to share that it's okay. And I think a lot of people have this fear of getting on LinkedIn. And one of the things I like to say is like, if you don't show up and people like you don't show up, which is often like women, who gets all the oxygen?
Mm.
And usually it's the older white men who are well established on LinkedIn. And like, we're not diminishing them in any way by
No.
letting other people show up as well and having a more nuanced, diverse conversation. And I think LinkedIn was very masculine when I
Mm.
started on it in 2020. And I think that's shifted for the better. So there's
Yeah.
more diversity of opinion, there's more voices, there's more different colored faces and different types of people showing up. And that's all for the better, because we don't want to
Yeah,
have this
agree.
void where only the brave get to control the conversation. So that's just a way I persuade people to think. If you care about
Mm.
diversity, if you care about
Yeah.
men, you adding your voice is a little way of contributing to that and making
Yeah, I
it
love
better and
that.
easier for everyone else behind you. If you're not that older white guy. Sorry,
I love that.
fellas.
No offense to those people, of course, but it is nice to have that variety. And you're right. Like, the more that we can add to that, the more positive it's going to be.
Yeah, but people do have a fear of showing up for sure. And often it's very irrational. And I think LinkedIn, for some reason, because it's corporate and
Yeah.
professional, people feel like it's even more risky
Yeah.
to get visible. But it's really, all those fears are very unfounded. And we all know if you post on LinkedIn, you'll be fine. Like you're not at risk in any way. But we all know that it's the subconscious that's driving some of that fear, and that can be very difficult to overcome. And the only way to do it is to just take the action
Yeah. Oh,
and almost think, like,
100%.
who's going to promote your business if not you? Like,
Yeah.
you're not doing anything to promote your business, you won't have much of a business. If you're not doing anything to like get sales, you won't have
Yeah.
sales.
Yeah,
And
100%.
that can be organic, can be ads, could be, you got to do something.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it can be a very dangerous business
Yeah.
to
And you're
be
the
in.
greatest opportunity. As a small business owner, you are the USP, because a bigger business doesn't have a voice
Mm,
that can drive it. It doesn't have a face that can drive it. Coca-Cola, who am I? Who am I connecting with? Nobody. Yes,
yeah.
they're so far gone, it doesn't matter. But the point is, a big conglomerate cannot connect on a personal level and build that
Yeah,
trust
and that's
like
why
and
they
know.
hire celebrities to do it
Yes,
for them, like George
that's
Clooney for
true.
Nescafe
That's so
or
true.
any other celebrities. Like, they're tapping into that celebrity
Mm.
status to get that for them. And that's one of the things we can do. And as a small business owner, we can obviously be a lot like, if there's a hot topic today, we can just post about it. Whereas if in a corporate environment, someone will have the bright idea and then they'll go through 6 channels to get approved. And then some lawyer will go, oh, we don't want to say this. And then it's like been a week and it's over.
Exactly right, exactly. Or you've got the whitewash version that you don't want to go
And
with
then they go,
anyway.
yeah, you can post this. And you're like, yeah, this,
This is
this,
nothing.
all the interesting stuff, the conversation's gone and the topic's over. Whereas as a small business,
100%.
you can just jump on it quickly and have that be a part of the conversation
Yeah,
as it's arising.
yeah. No, absolutely. Well, this has been such a fantastic chat, Kate. I think we've covered a lot of ground, and I think you've given some great tips for actually getting on LinkedIn and getting, I guess, the nuts and bolts in place, but then proactively working at LinkedIn to make it work for you.
Yes, I think there's a lot of potential. It definitely takes a bit of work,
Mm.
but once you get into the rhythm, like any social platform, you do have to kind of feed the beast. And I've seen firsthand for myself and my clients some really great results, to the point where one client she started with 200 connections. She followed all my tips and now she's got 1,000 connections and she's booked out and she's
Wow.
raising new prices, and yeah, she's doing really well. So there's definitely a lot of potential for sure.
Awesome. And where can people connect with you? And obviously on LinkedIn,
On LinkedIn,
find out
yes.
more.
And I have a newsletter you can subscribe to. I share a weekly LinkedIn tip. So you can subscribe to that on LinkedIn. Or I've got like an off LinkedIn, you get it a bit earlier and you get a bit more
Yeah.
on my website. So would love to get in everyone's inboxes and share my LinkedIn tips.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much again for your time, and I look forward to talking to you more in the future.
Pleasure. Thanks for having me.
That's a wrap on another episode of Ready, Set, Paid Ads. If you're looking for done-for-you services, training to upskill you in ads management, or free and paid resources to help you plan and execute better ads, head to wiseupmarketing.com.au. If you've loved this episode, be sure to subscribe for future episodes. And if you know someone that would love this podcast too, go on and share it.